Hey, GW coming to you live on a very wet, rainy Friday afternoon. And got the perfect movie for you guys. As promised yesterday, I did watch Cocaine Bear, and this thing is crazy from all angles. This film has gotten a lot of buzz, and it apparently is a very big hit right now. But if you don't know much about the film, or you're just wondering what all the hype is about, I'm going to tell you. First of all, it is inspired by a true story that happened in 1985, and it concerns a drug runner's plane crash, missing cocaine, and you guessed it, a black bear that ate it. Now, in the real life case, the black bear ate it and died, and it was actually a very interesting news story in 85. However, however, so this is what would happen if the black bear ate the cocaine and went on a Jaws like rampage. Now, first of all, this movie, you can't take your eyes off it. I'm going to tell you that right now. It stars, believe it or not, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Kerry Russell, Ray Liotta, in probably his final role. In fact, the end credits have a little tribute to Ray Liotta in the credits. Ray Liotta, you guys know, is famous for Henry Hill in Goodfellas, as well as No Escape, a couple other movies. But this thing, it's an entertaining ride. If you go into it and you don't, you know it's going to be a dumb fun movie to watch, you're going to have a lot of fun. However, if you go into this movie and you're expecting it to be something like, let me just pull a movie out of there, like The Maltese Falcon, where the acting is par, or Casablanca, right? You're going to be totally let down. Okay, so let's just start with what some of the interesting bullet points of this film are. So it was actually directed by Elizabeth Banks, and when I'm looking at the summary for the movie, it says action, comedy, crime. It should say rampage, wildlife rampage on it. So, we're just going to jump to the lead cast. It stars Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr. You guys might remember him from a small little movie called Straight Outta Compton, where he played, guess who? His dad, Ice Cube. We're talking Christian Conroy Jenkins. He is going to be playing Sweet Tooth in the new Twisted Metal TV series. Alden Ehrenreich, he played in Solo, a Star Wars story, if you guys know who he is. Jesse Taylor Ferguson, he was a cast member of Modern Family. Brooklyn Prince, he was on the thing called The Florida Project, don't know what that is. Isaiah Whitlock Jr., he was on that movie The Black Klansman, you guys, and if you guys haven't checked that out, you need to watch that. That's a pretty cool movie. Christopher Hayu, Game of Thrones. Hannah Hawkstra, Charlie's Angels, the remake Charlie's Angels from 2019. Aaron Holiday from a movie called Sharp Objects. Let's see. Margot Martindale from The Americans, which was a short-lived FX show, or I shouldn't say short-lived. Emmy winner Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta's character in this is just ridiculously overblown. He was also on The Many Saints of Newark. He played two roles in that. Elizabeth Banks did direct Charlie's Angels, and I think this is a much better outing than that. It is produced by Oscar winners Phil Lord and Christopher Miller of Spider-Man fame. And let's see. So, you got a pretty good who's who selection in there. So we're going to talk about the good, the crazy, and the overblown in this film. The good is that once you start watching it, you kind of have to watch it till the end to see where it goes. And I'm not going to ruin the ending, but I will tell you that based on the success of this film, there's probably going to be a sequel. How do I know that? Because one of the last frames in the movie, you kind of get the feeling that they're going to build up to a sequel. That's good. Another good thing about this movie is that it throws all these type of things into this forest and in this national park in Chattahoochee, I believe, is where it's filmed at. But it's a domino effect. Like if you guys ever watched that movie Grizzly, think of that black bear on cocaine and a murderous rampage with more blood and gore than you know what to do with. There is a lot of dark comedy in here, and it's basically what I like to call from throwaway characters. Characters that you want to see just get mauled, annihilated, because you can't stand them. So basically, the film works in that way. Now, if you're looking for gore, surprisingly, this thing had a lot of gore. Animal maulings, people shot through the head, fingers being blown off. We get a girl on a stretcher who is in an ambulance. The ambulance crashes into a tree, right? The stretcher flips over. She goes headfirst on the road and scrapes her scrapes her head right on the road. I mean, it's amazing how much gore is in this picture. Gunshots, maulings, just crazy stuff. So the story is Ray Liotta, one of Ray Liotta's guys, is doing a cocaine drop. And all these bags of cocaine get scattered all over the forest. And doesn't take long for a bear to get into it. And the bear is almost like the shark in Jaws. It pretty much seeks out cocaine and destroys anybody because he's in a drug-fueled rage. Why is this entertaining? I really don't know. But it is. I really enjoyed it. It's dumb fun. And like I said, it's not going to win any awards. In fact, I do believe the Cocaine Bear was on the MTV Awards. I think. I don't know. But it's a stupid fun movie. Now the gore, believe it or not, looks very realistic. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, the guys that created the bear is all CGI, believe it or not. But when you watch this movie, okay, it looks almost real. The reason for that is the team behind the bear worked on Avatar. So right there, it's good. Let's see. Now, when the cocaine falls and people are noticing about it in the story, an oddball group of criminals, drug dealers, tourist teens, sightseers, everybody is in the target of this bear. It makes for an interesting story because it basically is a throwback to the 80s. And that's the other thing I want to bring up. Being that this film is supposed to be shot in 85, they really nailed the look down, and complete with even cars from the 1980s, the outfits from the 1980s, the attitude. They really did nail this. And I'm really impressed because I was just talking to my wife the other day. We've been watching these Watch Mojo things. And you know what? That was like the best decade for me. I guess because everything was just so different than it is now. And it was just my favorite decade was the 80s. And so anything that I check out, whether it's movies, because I was a young kid in the 80s, guys. I was born in 79, so I came at the very beginning of the 80s. And basically, I missed out on a lot of stuff. I wasn't old enough to realize how cool this stuff was. But everything from the 80s to me just has a certain look and a certain feel to it. You know, from 80s music to 80s porno to the cars to the outfits to everything to the TV shows. I mean, it was the booming decade, guys. It was awesome. But this really does a good job of capturing the 80s. Much like I said, more than likely, or not more than likely, because of the cars in the movie. And they got some really cool cars. The outfits, the attitudes, and just, being it would seem. So definitely check it out. It's streaming right now on Google. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. Now, Paramount Plus is supposed to be picking this film up and showing it later this year. I couldn't wait. I love these movies where, you get dumb people in the woods and in the woods or in a beach and they just get mauled for no reason because they mess with nature. This is no exception, you know. So, Cocaine Bear, if you don't take it seriously, you're going to have a good time. And it's not the type of movie that is going to appeal to everybody, obviously. It's really not. It's going to appeal to certain people, and it's a pretty well good movie. The other thing, too, I want to talk about the acting. Um, the acting in this film is pretty good, especially from the young kids. There's a really, really dark, funny scene at the beginning where they do find a brick of cocaine and figure out how to do it. Obviously, these kids don't know about snorting. But that was the thing. This movie, like I said, is set in 85. I think I've said that about 3 times now. And when I did some checking, apparently everybody in the 80s knew about cocaine. Cocaine was just a thing. I guess after Scarface, everybody wanted to do that. And Superfly, Ron O'Neal. If you guys haven't checked that out, check out that blaxploitation film. It's pretty awesome. But the original, don't watch the remake. The original. But everybody knew about it, and it was just interesting to see it play in pop culture. And Kerry Russell is amazing as the mom. I'm telling you right now. And yes, this movie's not to be taken seriously. And I think when a lot of people do watch this, their first inclination is halfway through, they're going to go, this is the stupidest thing in the world. But if you throw disbelief out the window, you're going to have a very good time. So yeah, Cocaine Bear. Two things that should not be going together, cocaine and bears. But I'll tell you what, interesting formula. Very cool, dark comedy slasher. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised by the gore. The acting was pretty good. It was never over the top. And it had a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, if you're looking for something to watch, give Cocaine Bear a try. GW, I'm out. Peace to all my friends. Peace to everybody that's been watching me. I hope I helped you out making the decision. Now, again, I have to reiterate, too. My wife bought me this movie, so big ups to her, and big ups to everybody that follows me. I really appreciate it. Got a little head cold, so, good flick.